This is a free download from the BBC. For more information, go to bbc.co.uk/podcasts.
Hi everyone, well done on downloading Iainlee's thing. It's me, Kelly Betts. I'm doing it this week because Ian is lazy. He couldn't be bothered. Here's proof of his laziness.
I should let you know that every week we have a brand new podcast of the show, the best bits of the show. It lasts for about an hour, and they stay up online for about 30 days. Last week's was a humdinger. Probably the best one we've ever done. This week's, okay. The thing is, I'm supposed to record all the links today or tomorrow for it. They're kind of just saying, well, coming up with Lynn talking about something, and then this is Stephen and Dave. They're having an argument about bats, and here's a wind turbine man having an argument about a wind turbine. I can't be bothered to do it this week. I've actually got to shoot off straight after the show today, so I can't do it. So I'll get someone else to do it for me. Kelly, could you do it for me?
Yeah, right. Can I do? I'll do it in your voice.
Yeah,
So
please.
I'm like, hi, it's Ian, and it's my podcast.
How rude. Why has everyone been so rude today? I don't sound like that in the slightest. I've got a good voice.
So this week I am hosting it. Here's a bit from Ian's show at some point this week.
We had we sent Kelly Betts around the three counties' offices with a tape recorder, not a tape recorder, a microphone, to record some people singing some bits and pieces. Do you want to have a listen?
Oh dear, yes I do.
Here we go. Have a listen to this.
Love no longer has a hold on me. I am stronger, so much more emotionally. Love no longer has a hold on me. I am free
to be me. How on earth did you get that?
There's more. Stay there.
It's me. It's where the destiny that's gonna be. When the searching tells me.
That was a bit naughty. That was Justin Dealey.
Can I just say, I'm going to stop you there right now. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, who recorded that again? Did you say? Was that Kelly Betts? Yeah?
Kelly, come on, he wants to talk to you. Yes,
because I'm led to believe...
I did not record that.
You sure?
100%.
Because technically it's actually illegal to record somebody without their knowledge. Goodbye, Kelly Betts.
I didn't record it.
Nice knowing
It wasn't me
nice
who recorded
working
it.
with you at the BBC. Bye.
Well, that took a dark tone, didn't it? What should have been a harmless prank has involved in someone, a member of my team, launching a lawsuit against another member of my team. Oh, it was good. It was Justin Dealey singing during the recording of it. Shall we have another listen?
Love no longer has a hold on me. I am stronger.
It's all one note. Love no longer has a hold on me.
Love no longer has a hold on me.
Love no longer has a hold on me.
I'm free.
He's taken all of the passion and excitement out of that song. It rendered it into a Stephen Hawking interpretation.
It's where the destiny.
It's a Dalek.
That's gonna be. When the searching tells me.
Oh, it's the funniest thing I've heard. Don't worry, we'll play it again before 9.
Just to say, it was not me who recorded that. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
With us now is former prisoner, now active campaigner for prisoner rights, John Hurst. Morning, John.
Good morning.
John, why were you sent to prison and for how long?
I was sent to prison on the last one for manslaughter, and I got a life sentence with a tariff of 15, but I actually served 25. So, this is what's happening. You're getting people who are getting longer and longer sentences, and they're staying in prison longer, and you're ending up with thousands of old age pensioners or infirm people in there. you know, and they don't really cater for them at all.
What help do old prisoners need that they're not getting?
Well, you know, I've seen people in there who are blind. Well, I'm blind myself now, you know, and I've seen people in there on crutches and in wheelchairs, you know...
But you're not suggesting we should let them out, though, are you?
Well, you know, you're getting people like Ronnie Biggs, you know, I mean, why keep him in... You know, he's practically on his deathbed, you know...
He's been on his deathbed for a couple of years now, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Must be bad.
It, you know... They can't keep an old lag down. But, I mean, the whole point about this is you've got the National Health Service within the prisons now, you know, and they cater for older people outside. So I don't see why they can't cater for them inside. You know, you're getting a lot of people in there. You've got something like 30% going into prison from the care system. You know, so even before you start, these people have had their problems. And then as you get older, they're going to have those same kind of problems again. And the system has been relying upon the generosity of other prisoners to look after their own kinds, you know, those who are infirm. And it shouldn't be down to the prisoners, it should be down to the system to care.
So you'd like to see more medical care for elderly and infirm prisoners within the prison system?
Either that or take them out of the prison system and put them in somewhere else. You know,
Where?
They can have, like, secure care homes.
No, John!
Yes,
Secure care homes?
Yes.
No. Because they've committed a crime. They've done something naughty. They should be in prison.
They are in prison.
Well, then good. You can put them in a secure care home, living a life of luxury.
Living a life of luxury in prison. Have you been in?
No, care homes I'm talking about, you silly sausage.
No, you're joking.
Well, a care home is much more luxurious than a prison.
Well, I don't know. I mean, from what I've been hearing from some of the care homes, like, some of them are even worse than prison.
Don't be silly. No, care homes aren't worse than prisons. I've seen care homes. They're pretty decent places. You couldn't have a care home for prisoners. There are people...
Why not?
Well, because there are people who have not committed crimes who are desperate for good care home places, and they're being denied them already. So we're not going to give them to prisoners, are we? It's silly.
No, of course, yeah. I mean, they're human beings. You have to treat them with dignity.
Oh, of course you do. Of course you do.
Well, you're not doing that if you're leaving them locked up, you know, with...
We're not going to let them out. We're not going to let a murderer out just because they're 70 and they need a wheelchair.
Well, why not?
Because they're a murderer. They've committed a murder.
Christ, I mean, some of them, you know, I've been in there so long now, you know, the whole thing is... You're like flogging a dead horse.
Well, they've obviously committed very naughty crimes then, if they're in there for so long. That's, you know...
Not necessarily, you know. I mean, the parole board goes on the basis of what they perceive to be a risk to public, but they're not actually dealing with the risk to the public, though. This is the problem. What they're doing is they're thinking of crimes that the person might commit in the future, and this is only in the parole board members' heads, and they're keeping them in prison as a result of that.
Good.
You know, that's thought crime. What thought crime?
No, it's not thought crime. If they, the parole board assesses to discover whether these people still possess a potential threat to the public. If they decide they do, then they keep them in prison. Good.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. How they assess them. What they're doing is, like I say, they're thinking of these crimes themselves, and they're in their own heads. And you can't start keeping people in prison because of something in the parole board.
Well, they're in prison initially because they have done something very bad, aren't they?
Yeah, but at the same time, you've got to start releasing them out. I mean, you go somewhere like Sweden, for example, a long sentence there is 2 years, whereas it's double that here. You know, and they have been giving people automatic life sentences for piddling little crimes, you know, like stealing milk off doorsteps, you know.
Who's been given a life sentence for stealing milk off of a doorstep, John?
Well, they have with those automatic life sentences. Once you got the 3 crimes, it gave you an automatic life sentence. So give me an example of someone who's got a life sentence for stealing milk off of a doorstep. No, they've
well, you can't because it's not happened, has it?
No, but I'm saying crimes like that, they've done little crimes, and they've ended up being in jail with an automatic life sentence.
Okay.
You know, and the sentence tariff is so short that the parole board is so overloaded with cases they can't get round to them. So you get someone who goes in who might have a 3-year tariff, And he's probably in 6 years waiting for the parole board to get round to looking at his case for release.
There is one way around that, I suppose.
Don't commit the crimes.
Exactly.
Yeah, I thought you was going to say that.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you want to tell those MPs who are fiddling their expenses that.
Well, they've not murdered anybody. They've not.
Sure, I don't know so much.
Well, John,
you had the Belgrano incident,
John,
and then you had the Rock of Gibraltar ones.
John,
well, these were done by MPs.
John, come on now. They've not gone around and robbed some old lady, and they've not gone around and they've not gone and stabbed someone in the back.
They rob old people all the time. They do with the filling expenses.
It's like arguing with a sixth former. Come on now, you can do better than this, John. I know you're a very intelligent gentleman. We've spoken before.
That's why I'm dealing with you in this manner.
Okay. But you're seriously suggesting that a 70-year-old man, if they got a bit of a limp or they got one eye that's a bit gammy, then even if they committed a murder, they should be released?
No. There's people in there who are really so infirm. I mean, it's like they're in like wheelchairs and you've got the drip there and, they can't go anywhere. They can't run. They're no risk to the public, and yet they're still keeping them inside. And that's what I'm saying is wrong. I mean, it's clogging up a system. You could safely let out something like 60,000 prisoners.
60,000 prisoners you want released?
88,000.
Oh, John.
But they don't all need to be there. That's what I'm saying.
Well, they do need to be there because they've committed crimes and they are being rehabilitated and punished.
No, the system, the more people you've got in, the less law and order you've got. It's as simple as that. It's the less people you've got in prison, then your system is working. You need the crime prevention, and they're not doing it. I mean, it was only recently you got the Greater Manchester Police saying, we don't investigate 50% of the crimes. Then the next thing they said was, crime figures are down by 50%. Well, I'm not surprised if they're not investigating them. And they've cut the crime by 50%. They're just not investigating them.
Ian's been really lazy this week. Dave called in, then Stephen called in. Iainlee just sat back on his chair like this and just left them to it.
Dave, say hello to Stephen in Bedford.
Hi, Stephen.
Morning, Dave. How are you?
Oh, I'm not. It's raining, mate. So I'm a bit out in the garden. I'm getting a little bit wet, but never mind.
Stephen, do you like wind turbines, Stephen?
I think they look lovely. And that argument the bloke was saying about the bats, but the bats fly, they've got eyes closed. Oh yeah, they do, don't they? But they can see things when they're flying. That's a load of rubbish.
Their hearing is so brilliant. Bats, they can hear that, even if it's not making a noise, and they'll fly away from it. All this about wildlife out in fields is a load of rubbish.
I agree with you. We need the mayor to keep us going.
Well, I went up I don't know where it is. I went up the motorway and I could see them out in this field, about 9, 10 of them, and they looked a picture. I'd like to have a camera, but there you are. But the wind turbines are absolutely brilliant. And this man, campaigner against it, he's all right to switch his electric on, but where's he get it from?
What would you prefer? A load of wind turbines or a nuclear power station? This is simple, isn't it, really?
Well, you've answered the questions of the wind turbines, isn't it? Straight away.
It is, indeed.
Where's Ian gone? Is he gone?
He's gone for a cup of tea.
Yeah.
He's playing that snake game on his phone, isn't he?
Yeah, Justin's made it for him, you know what I mean? Or Kelly, But, Mr. Lee, we want to talk about mobiles now.
You can't tell Mr. Lee we want half his wages. We're doing his job for him.
Well, yeah, I want his full wages. 500 a week. Do you know what I mean, Steve?
No. You not take your potato, please.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Steve, over the phone. You know what I mean?
It's nice to meet you.
Yeah,
get out of the rain, then.
But Steve, about mobiles.
Yes.
I hate people walking across the road without looking on their mobiles, and when you bib, they look at you with daggers.
I have people walking into me while they're texting. That's because I deliberately stand in their way. When I see somebody walking up the road texting, I just stand there and let them bump into me.
Yeah, I'm going to do that as well.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Mr. Lee's only got a Nokia, isn't he? The small one.
Nothing wrong with Nokia.
No,
He's only got a small one.
No,
yeah.
I'm talking on a Nokia, the brick. So, Mr. Lee. Oh, he's gone for. He's gone to meet Justin's in the studio. 1 minute, Justin's coming back. But did you notice, Steve, this morning?
That is what?
Dennis from Dunstable swore, and he wasn't barred.
Patricia is on the line. Good morning, Patricia.
Good morning.
Patricia, you've had experience of someone being in a care home, haven't you? What happened?
Yes, we did. It was my late elderly aunt. Basically, she was in an independent home to begin with, and then a larger organisation bought them out. And to begin with, it was absolutely fine. And then we were rather concerned. I mean, although she was 100, she was totally and she used to complain to us that she was being a little bit manhandled. And we did sort of inquire about it, and we were told, oh, well, you know, she's 100, her skin is very frail, etc., bruises easily. And then one day we had a call from the home saying, could you come in, please? And we went in, and basically a carer had been caught by two other carers punching my aunt forcibly in the stomach, in the ribs.
What?
And these two other carers actually had to pull the lady off.
A woman was punching your 100-year-old aunt in the ribs and the stomach?
Yes, and we were her next of kin, you see. So basically we called the police in because we thought it's a foregone conclusion that, you know, we were adamant that we were going to take her to task about it. The police came, they interviewed my aunt, they interviewed us. The police photographer came because she was bruised. The lady in question was put on, she was put on, what's the word? She wasn't allowed to work for a month.
She was suspended?
You know, suspended, that's the word I'm thinking of. So we thought, right, that's it. So the CPS then took all the details. They then decided that because of her age and because she wouldn't be at that age and her frailty, it wouldn't be good for her to go to court, etc., or go through the trauma of it all. They then said that they decided they would drop the case. We found out a few weeks later that the carer had actually been reinstated by the home, but was working on a different floor. So my husband and I were absolutely infuriated by it, so we took the council to task, etc., and after a battle, we actually got her sacked. But what I was going to say was that gentleman, the manager, I think he should be congratulated because although he felt guilty that it took him time to prove the case, at least he was aware that he knew something was going on. And, I mean, whereas this other company, they just tried to brush everything under the carpet. And even when they had the evidence, they still really didn't want to know. And fortunately, this company have now gone into liquidation.
Well, good.
I mean, it was probably the biggest one in the UK.
Good for them. Well, let's not have any more clues, but good for them. I tell you what surprised me about what you've told me is that there was a carer who thought it was appropriate to punch. Did she give any reason for why she was punching a 100-year-old woman?
Sorry, yes, I forgot that. Sorry. Basically, my aunt had been using her buzzer because she needed to use the loo.
Yeah.
And by the time the carer got to her, unfortunately, my aunt had wet herself.
Yeah.
And so she'd made a mess. And she was so angry with her.
She punched her.
Yeah, but not just once. Not just once. Not that would have been acceptable. She bruised her ribs. She bruised her stomach. She was in a dreadful state. And obviously, mentally, at that age, she was in a dreadful state.
Oh, Patricia, what a horrible story.
And, it was awful.
Yeah.
It was
That bit
awful.
surprised me. The care home trying to brush it under the carpet. That doesn't surprise me too much.
No, even though they had two other carers there that actually witnessed it and gave witnesses and gave statements to the police, but still.
Carol, listen.
Unfortunately.
But Patricia, sorry, I appreciate you calling in with that horrific story. We're talking about erotic parts of the body because feet are the least sexy part of the body, according to a new survey. They were the lowest ranked of all 41 body parts in terms of sexual attractiveness. They ranked worse than kneecaps. How could anybody find kneecaps erotic? Well, every part of our reporter, Justin Daly, is attractive. He joins me now. Good morning, Justin.
You don't like a kneecap?
I don't.
Why not? Why don't you like a kneecap? They're lovely.
No, a kneecap is the back of the knees. Oh, yes.
Yeah. Very, very sensual part of
bearing in mind
ladies'
we have young ears listening, Justin. So let's keep this clean. But let's have your top Your top 2 body parts?
Top 2 body parts would be the back of the knees, actually. That's one. And the second one would be the neck. Very, very essential parts of the body.
I like the top of the back. So, I don't know why that's funny.
Hairy or not?
Sorry?
A bit of hair there?
Shut up. Although my back is getting very hairy.
Oh, lovely.
Very hairy. When your hairdresser says, do you want me to shave the top of your back, you know you're in trouble. I like a nice back.
Yeah.
I also like a slightly wonky eye.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I do.
You find that quite endearing, do you?
I find a slightly wonky eye or a big Barbara Streisand nose.
Fantastic.
Not both. That's too much.
Yeah,
that really,
Just one.
Just one of those things I think is absolutely wonderful.
What an insight into your life this morning. I'm slightly scared now.
You've been out talking to people this morning, Justin. What have they had to say?
Yeah, I've been off for a week and I've come back and you've said, Justin, go out in the pouring rain and ask people what their favourite body part is. But Ian, I've done it for you. We've got some interesting answers, especially Philip at the end, who just can't control himself. Oh. Take a quick listen to this.
Oh, dear.
Legs, I think.
Why the legs?
My eyes have always drawn to them, to be honest. Yeah.
What, long legs, short legs?
Nice muscular legs. Tanned legs, toned legs.
Muscular tan legs on a lady. So you're into bodybuilders then?
Well, I used to be, yeah. Do a lot of working out myself.
Amy, good morning. What's your favourite body part, Amy?
Bum.
This could get quite rude. Why the bum?
I've always been a bum person.
The eyes.
The eyes?
The eyes, yeah.
You're a clean lady, aren't you?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Sir, do you like men, do you like women, or maybe a bit of both? What's your favourite body part?
The breasts.
I think we can just about get away with that one. Feet have been named as a major turn-off. Would you go along with that?
Yes, I would.
What's wrong with feet?
They're smelly.
Sylvia, how are you today? Good weekend?
Hi. Yes, thanks.
Lovely stuff. Sylvia, this is a genuine question, OK? Iainlee wants to know this morning, what's your favourite body part?
My what?
Your favourite body part. On a man, maybe.
On a man?
Do you like men?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not...
What's your favourite body part on a man?
I presume the legs.
The legs?
Yeah.
All about my chest, though. Look at that. And feet have been named as a major turn-off. What is it about feet that you don't like, Sylvia?
I don't like feet at all.
Why not?
I think they're ugly.
Can I show you my feet?
No.
Oh, please.
No.
Because mine are quite attractive, actually.
I've got to run because I'm late for work.
OK, listen, have a great day. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Philip, what's your favourite body part on a lady? OK, thank you.
There we go, you see. Wow, I think we may have just nudged up to the line and maybe put our noses over it. Feet are, they are pretty... I don't... If a lady's got nice feet, then yeah, I'm quite drawn to them, but they're not the sexiest part of the body at all, are they?
No, you see, my feet are actually quite attractive because they've got character. They're slightly different because my second toe is actually longer than my big toe.
That means you...
that's quite unusual.
Well, my mum's got that.
Has she?
Yeah, it means you're Neanderthal.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not a good thing.
Oh, right.
You're listening to Iainlee's podcast. Well done on getting this far with it. I know, it's quite boring. Maybe, when you get to 100, the Queen gives you an award. Maybe she could send you one for getting this far with the podcast. Here's a guy called Brian talking about cats.
Brian in High Wycombe has called in about cats. Morning, Brian.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. Why do people hate cats?
Well, it's not cats that I hate. There's too many of them, and their owners just let them roam. Now, my next-door neighbour's got a cat.
Yes.
But that's been trained to stay at its own garden. It looks at me over the fence, very nice. But other people's cats, there's one walking down the road at the moment.
Shoot it.
And... yes, they just let them roam all over the place.
How did your neighbour train a cat to stay in its own garden?
That is a mystery to me.
Yes, because I've got a cat and my cat roams everywhere, and good luck to her.
They say cats are territorial and they each have their own territory, so perhaps other cats have sort of stake their own claim on my garden.
But why do you hate cats coming into your garden? If my little Velvet clambered into your garden, it would be a wonderful sight to behold.
Two reasons.
Go on.
As has been said, they do tend to bury it, and, one has taken to doing it in the window trough in front of the house.
Oh, no, you don't want to look out of your window to look at your...
It actually pulls the Patagonians out.
It pulls the Patagonians out?
Yeah.
And does poops?
Because it's nice soil, isn't it?
Yeah, good soil.
It tends to be dry on that trough because it's slightly sheltered, so it's dry earth.
But I don't know if you've ever seen a litter tray, Brian. I wouldn't want to do a poo in a litter tray. I'm sure you wouldn't either. I'd much rather go in some nice soil.
Yes, so as I say, I'm nothing against the cats. They look at me and they run out of the garden because I chase them off.
Oh, I see. I was going to say, it's not a look. Do you
don't harm them.
No.
But, I just let them know they're not wanted. But,
well, I think that's fair enough. That's acceptable, chasing a cat off your garden. But what's your message to people like me and other cat owners who allow our cats to roam?
Well, keep them in at night, really.
My poor Velvet likes to go out at night, Brian.
Oh, dear.
She likes to go out and go mousing and...
Just a great one, I won't keep you talking too long, but I saw a cat chase a woodcock, and it got... it was a woodcock, a bird in the garden.
Oh, thank goodness, yes.
And it actually...
So it was a sculpture.
...managed to get under the netting of my fruit cage, but it didn't go far enough. It had been clawed.
Yes.
And was in distress, so I took it to the vet.
The woodcock?
The woodcock. I put it in a cardboard box into straw and took it to the vet.
Yes. What did the vet do?
The RSPCA will pay for this.
Oh.
That I would have paid, but they phoned me back, the vet, later and said, "Oh, I thought you'd like to know. We gave it antibiotics, and it's now flown happily away."
Well, there you go, you see, Brian. It's ended with a happy story. Brian's woodcock there was given antibiotics, and it lived happily ever after. If we did an album of the week, which we don't because it's a rubbish idea, but if we did, the album of the week this week, Kelly, would be Meet Glenn Campbell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I dug this out. I have not stopped playing it in my... It's not even a very long album. It's about 35 minutes long. I have not stopped playing Meet Glenn Campbell in my car, just on a loop.
What is it, like his greatest hits or something?
No, that would be Glenn Campbell's greatest hits. This is called Meet Glenn Campbell.
So what is it, his first few hits?
No, that would be called Glenn Campbell's first few hits, or Glenn Campbell, indeed, the early years. This is Meet Glenn Campbell.
So what is it?
It's his songs about meat. It's not. It's from about 10 years ago. No, it's not. It's from about 6 years ago. And it's an album of cover versions that he recorded. It was designed to introduce him to a younger, hipper audience. That's why he's covered Travis.
Are you young and hip?
Yes, very, very much so indeed. Now, what I want you to do, there are 10 tracks on here. Mm-hmm. Every one of them is just perfect. Perfect. Okay? Mm-hmm. So I want you to pick a track between 1 and 10. You don't know what they are.
Yeah.
We'll play it, and then we'll get your opinion on the back end, I believe they call it.
5.
OK, I'm glad you didn't pick 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, yes! You picked... This is... OK, right. Hang on a second. Right.
What was track 8, by the way?
It's called Jesus. Now, track 5... It's all about Jesus. Track 5, this is... OK, have a listen to this. This is going to change your life. Are you ready?
Yeah.
OK, so introduce it.
This is... track 5 from Meet Glenn Campbell's album about meat.
There you go, you see. It doesn't get... That was Glenn Campbell. That was These Days from the album Meet Glenn Campbell, as chosen by Kelly Betts. Kelly, what did you think?
Yeah, it's all right. A bit, dull.
No. Whoa! What? Dull?
What is that a cover of, anyway?
These Days.
Is it the one by Foo Fighters?
No.
Bon Jovi?
No.
Powderfinger?
No.
Is it the one by Alien Ant Farm?
No.
I don't know it.
It's by Jackson Browne. I think Nico and the Velvet Underground may have done it.
Oh.
Yeah. It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
We'll pick another one tomorrow.
Okay.
That was a lot of fun. Just don't pick track 8.
Not track 8, okay.
No, because track 8 starts like this. Oh, hang on a second. Let me... This is how track 8 starts, and it's a good song, but... Starts like this.
Right.
It's a nice start.
Yeah.
But then... Here we go.
Jesus.
I just think maybe that's not the...
What's that a cover of?
Thank you very much indeed, Kelly Betts. 08459 455 555 is the telephone number if you want. See, we don't do albums of the week because that's a terribly tired and sad and boring format. But if we did do an album of the week, this week it would be Meet Glenn Campbell, which is a fantastic Glenn Campbell album, obviously, where he kind of tried to make himself a bit hipper about 5-6 years ago and did a load of cover versions. And we're playing a fun little game where Kelly Betts, who knows absolutely nothing about music...
Hiya.
Hello. Comes in and picks a song at random and we chew the fat. That means talk. OK, that was your... When I leave a gap and I point at you, that's kind of your cue to
I didn't really have anything to say then, though.
OK. Now, what have you thought of the songs that we've heard so far from Meek Glenn Campbell?
Well, they've been a bit dull.
Oh.
I haven't massively enjoyed it.
Right.
I think he's got that one song, something about a lineman. Is that him?
Yeah. Yes, the Wichita Lineman, but with this album...
Is all covers.
Yeah.
That he's destroyed. OK. Well, I think... You're a tough nut to crack. I think I can sway you today. OK.
Pick a number between 1 and 10. Don't pick 8. And yeah, we had 5, and I think we had 3.
How about we narrow it down and you give me the numbers of the tracks that you think I might like, or covers of songs that I might know.
Well, I know producer Tara is keen to go for the U2 song.
Oh, what song is it?
Sadly Beautiful, is that the U2 song? What? Who? What? Why
All I Want Is You.
All I Want Is You, is that it? Yeah, that's OK. Or you like... You're young, Green Day.
Oh, yeah, what song?
Good Riddance.
Really?
Yes.
What number is that?
9.
OK. Are you going to ask me...
Well, what? Just tell me what you want.
9.
Is that what you want?
Yes.
Because, are you sure?
Yeah.
OK. Well, let's have a listen and we'll have a little... I'll see you on the other side of this.
All right, then.
That's what they say.
Bye.
Now that, you've got to admit, is pretty... Well, I'm not going to influence you, Kelly Betts. That was... let me do it. That was Glenn Campbell from the Meek Glenn Campbell album, not our album of the week, with the Green Day song... Good Riddance, brackets, Time of Your Life, close brackets.
What he's done is taken a really nice current song, what's a good few years old now, and made it really, really boring.
Wow.
What he's actually done is he's played preset 4 on a keyboard and just let it on loop, and then he's got like a guitar or whatever over it, and he's just being all old. How old is he? Is he still alive? Was he still alive when he made that?
I think I'm going to ask you to leave the studio now.
Arcs.
Goodbye.
OK. Thanks, though, mate. I really have been enjoying this thing that we've been doing.
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
We need to make libraries sexy for 17 to 29-year-olds. How do we do it? I don't know. Ophelia's in Luton. Good morning, Ophelia.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. We need to make libraries sexy.
No, we don't.
Sorry?
We don't.
What do you mean?
Well, what do you mean by sexy?
We need to make them attractive to young people. Listen, with no disrespect, you're going to tell me you use your library, but you're also an old woman, aren't you?
And now I'm an old woman, very old, but I've always used the library since the age of 5. I mean, I came from a very poor family, and there was loads of us, so the library was a place where you went to read and to do your homework.
Yes.
And as I grew up with that, I remember where I lived in London, it was the same thing. I mean, that
was in the 70s, the 60s.
No, I'm talking about as recent as the 90s as well.
How old are you, Ophelia?
I'm old. Can't say it on the phone.
43.
No, older.
52.
Not quite.
49.
Oh, stop it. So bingo now. Can I get back to the library, though?
OK, so you're 51 years old. So you were using libraries in the 60s. The world was a different place in the 60s, Ophelia.
Can I just say, I was doing my degree...
You didn't even have colour television in the 60s.
Let me just say, the library is a focus point, especially around exam times. It's got the right atmosphere.
Oh, Ophelia, you're so out of touch. I don't know if you heard... There's these new things. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're called computers, and all the information you can get in the library, you can get on a computer, and the young people are not bothered going to libraries. They're in their bedrooms on their computers.
That's not true,
That's
Ian.
true.
Ian, you're not going to the libraries enough yourself, if that's what you're saying. Go on, even on a Saturday morning. It's mainly the Central Library, because the library is so central. I didn't even realise Wigmore's closing down, because I've been so busy and mostly going to the Central Library in Luton,
which
is a bit annoying, but Wigmore is my favourite library. When I first moved to Luton about 12 years ago, after getting my signing the papers and everything else, the day after I moved and got that all done, the first place I went to sign up was the library.
That was in the olden days, Ophelia.
No, 2000.
That's 13 years ago.
No, but the library is so cool. And do you know, it's a socialising place. You can meet people there.
Oh, I don't want to meet people.
You don't?
Oh, I don't like meeting people.
You get to talk to people of like-mindedness.
Oh, No, don't want to talk to people in the libraries.
Young people go there to meet people.
No, Ophelia, for goodness sakes, you're living in a Mills and Boon novel.
As recent as last year, I saw it at Central Library as well.
This is Ian Lee's podcast. It's supposed to be the best bits of the week, but here's Colin from Dunstable talking about libraries.
Well, I'd like to inform you that the Dunstable Library is used by lots and lots and lots of people of all ages.
How many people, Colin?
Oh, I don't know numbers.
Okay. Already, I've shot down your first claim, and you say all kinds of ages. What ages?
From adults in their middle age,
yes,
elderly,
yes,
right down to school children.
Okay, but do you see any 19 to 29-year-olds?
Yes. Mainly to use the Wi-Fi facility.
So they've just gone in there just to log on to the Wi-Fi, and that's it.
So why not?
Well, because you could go to Starbucks and use the Wi-Fi. You can go and stand outside someone's house. They're not really using the library's facilities, are they? If they just
because they're doing research and things like this.
On their computers. Colin, what we need... Listen, you put up a brave effort, well done, but you have to admit, we need to make libraries sexier, don't we? We need to do something to get the young crowd in.
No, I don't think
we need the pink pound in libraries.
Sorry?
We need to get more people into libraries.
We certainly do, yes.
How do we do it, Colin?
That's the $64,000 question.
How about, listen, someone suggested earlier, we get a nice little coffee shop in the corner.
Yes.
Go and have a latte. Go and have a latte and a nice bit of carrot cake.
That would be nice, yes.
Yes, that'll be £2.75, please, sir.
How funny. The trouble is, it's got to be at a reasonable price.
I think a coffee and a carrot cake at £2.75 is very reasonable. I thought I'd underpriced myself.
Yes, that sounds reasonable.
What was the last book you got out of a library?
The last book I had to order was a book on art forms in nature.
Well, it can't have been that good if it took you so long to remember. Art forms in nature?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the bloke's name. It's a very old book.
Must have been a riveting read.
No, it was for the pictures.
Oh, you just get the books for the pictures.
Yes, okay, well, I mean they are exceptional.
Yes. Well, we need to do something to make libraries sexier, Colin. And your project this week is to... It's not the book by Ernst Keikel, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, I've got this. Good pictures.
Yes.
We need to do... I mean, I didn't read it, but they are amazing pictures.
Yeah, how do you know that book, then?
I know Ernst Keikel. My dad used to go to school with him. Anyway, we'll go off on a tangent.
You're that old.
Yeah. Listen, your project this week, Colin, and I'll speak to you at the end of the week, is to come up with a way to make the libraries sexier. Can you do that for me?
Depends what you mean by sexier.
To get the young people in! The pink pound!
Okay, I'll have a think.
I'll speak to you on Friday, Colin.
Bye.
There we go.
You'll be pleased to know that that's not the last you'll hear of Colin in this podcast.
There had been an incident at BBC Three Counties Radio. In the car park, there were two... it's not a particularly big car park. Two huge trucks were parked in there. And we all saw them this morning as we came in. And we were all going, who's parked in there? None of us, dear listener, had the cojones to go up to them and say, excuse me, would you mind moving? None of us apart from one man. Only one man was brave enough. In times of trouble, we turn to a hero. That hero's name is Jonathan Vernon-Smith. You went and spoke to them.
I had a massive row with them. They nearly killed me this morning.
Did you wake them up? Because they were asleep in there.
Were they? Oh, how disgusting. Well, as I arrived, they were blocking everybody in, so I went up to one of them, and I said, what are you doing? How am I supposed to get my car in? Anyway, he instantly got very aggressive with me. And he said, we've got permission. I said, who gave you permission to leave your lorries in this car park? He said, the hotel. So he pointed at the hotel over the road. So that was it. I stormed over there. Yeah. I spoke to them. They said, they've not even been staying here.
Right.
They said, it must be the other hotel. So I went in the other hotel.
Wow.
They said... No. We didn't give them permission, but actually we'd like to know who they are because they've been blooming abusive to our staff all night as well.
Oh, dear.
So I came back out there, had a go at them. Then one of them gets out of his lorry, comes to back up his mate. I said, excuse me, there is no need to be so rude. I'm trying to establish why you're parking our car park. He said, what's the problem? I said, I'll tell you the problem. Nobody can get their cars in or out of our car park. That's the problem. At that point, he said, you need to get a life, mate. After he had done something that I can't even describe because people might be having their breakfast. He did something involving his nostrils on the floor. Disgusting. These people were absolute animals. Wretched animals.
And there was a great physical aggression as well, wasn't there?
Well, thankfully, my good colleague Tim, he came and backed me up.
Well.
And my colleague Jenna, she came and backed me up as well.
She'd be more use, I think, than Tim.
As they drove off, they threw a stone at me. It hit my colleague Jenna's car. It landed on it actually hit her. Poor thing.
Why are you laughing at that?
Because they were trying to get me. They got her.
Jenna got hit with a stone.
They threw a stone. Anyway, don't you worry. Don't you worry. I've already been on to the police this morning.
Have you?
I've already established which firm has hired them the lorries.
Yes.
They're phoning me back this morning to tell me the details of these people.
Wow.
I'll find them, don't you worry.
And then what are you going to do with them when you do find them?
I can't go into detail on air.
Karate chop to the windpipe?
I'm not giving away my secret weapon on air. It's at times like this I wish I had a taser. Make their eyeballs pop out.
What you didn't get, dear listener, as Jonathan was recounting that story, he was acting it out. It was
Richard, I'm sick of these kinds of people. Who do they think they are? They throw their weight around, and everybody, they make everybody feel frightened.
No, it's time to stand up.
Exactly.
Walter the Softy is standing up to Dennis the Menace.
We just had a conversation upstairs. One of my colleagues said, oh, yeah, but you know what's going to happen? If you cause them trouble, they're going to come back and they're going to do things to our cars in the car. We cannot allow these people to just carry on behaving like this without people standing up to them.
Hang on a second. That is actually a really good point. Mine and producer Tara's and Kelly Bett's cars, we're here before.
Well, can I suggest you park your car in another car park? Because I'm not allowing these kinds of people to just bully everyone else, throw their weight around, and there are never any repercussions. These people are going to be held to account.
Of all the turf wars I could have got involved in Luton, I didn't think you'd be involved in it. You'd be one of the sides.
I thought they were going to kill me this morning, especially when the other one got out the lorry and came over to have a go, and I suddenly had a realisation. I was holding a briefcase and wearing tweed. I thought, oh, good Lord, I've got tweed on.
Well done you for saying something. If my car gets keyed, I'll send you the bill.
Oh, right.
Ken's in Luton. Morning, Ken.
Morning, Ian.
Ken, wind turbines.
Yes.
What you got?
Convert them.
Sorry?
2 jobs.
Yes.
Right. Grind the wheat.
Grind the wheat?
That's right.
Yeah.
2 birds with 1 stone.
Oh, I see. So I see. So you make them multi-purposeful. They grind the wheat and they generate the heat.
And on top of that, you'll have nice fresh bread.
Oh.
Hey, can you remember the old nice fresh bread we used to get?
Oh, I'm not from the 1930s like you, Ken, so no, but I do like nice... I used to work in a baker's, the bakery department of Safeway, and I do like a nice fresh loaf.
Oh, you could die for it, wouldn't you?
Well,
we used to go down the co-op as soon as they'd made them at night, and we used to go in there, and my mum used to send us down to get a shilling to get a tin loaf.
Yep.
Half of it would be gone before we got home.
Yeah, fresh bread, nothing. Fresh bread, get a nice knob of butter, maybe a bit of jam on there, beautiful.
Oh, we couldn't afford jam.
Oh.
Yeah, so...
Well.
But, talking about mobile phones...
Oh, yes.
Some bloke rang me up the other week, and he said, I've won a television set.
Fantastic.
I said, that's brilliant. He said, yeah. He said, have you got a phone? I said, no. He said, do you want one? I said, no. I said, just send the telly.
Yeah.
No, he said, you can't have the television without... I said, you just told me I've won a television.
Yeah.
So he kept on about this blooming phone, so I said, no, thank mate. I said, I have enough with the missus, no more mobile phone.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's... I see the bin man texting while he was collecting the bins.
Yes.
I thought, what's he going to do when he has to collect 2 next door to each other?
Ken, I've literally got no idea what we're talking about now, so I'm going to say goodbye.
Oh, all right, and then.
Ta!
So you know Ian, he's that tall one. He used to be on telly. Probably will get sacked soon. Yeah, him. He likes to take the mickey out of people that work here. Not sure if you've noticed. So the next few minutes of this podcast are him laughing at his work colleagues.
Moving away from football, England's cricketers played the third one-day international of the series. That's against Australia. They trail 1-0, having lost the second one-day at the weekend. And BBC Three Counties Radio, more from me at 8.
What happened there?
And just, oh yeah.
You got a little bit sing-songy. And...
See? It's lovely.
Uh-oh.
Do you want me to explain about the football, by the way?
No.
Because I forget.
No.
Your football's about as good as a mathematician's is English, isn't it, really?
Okay.
Right. So let's say, so they're at the top.
For those who don't know, this is the sentence I was forced to read 45 minutes ago. Sport. England have qualification for next year's World Cup in their own hands after last night's goalless draw with Ukraine. That means, can I tell you what that means? Literally nothing.
Nothing. But in their own hands is an expression.
No, it's not.
Essentially, they're at the top.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
So no one will overtake them.
I haven't got the power to cut her off. That's
essentially, it's theirs. Qualification is
I'll
theirs.
do this.
But
Call 08459 455 555.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Earlier on, we played a little bit of this. It's JVS whistling. He's good. He's got a very strong whistle. Not as strong as mine. Yeah, I know. We've all been impressed by it. We've all been passing a tape around, a little cassette of JVS whistling. Oh, it's good. It's very, very good. Anyway, we recorded him whistling. We were so impressed by his whistling that, Justin, you came up with this idea, didn't you?
Yeah, great idea. The whistle test.
Sony Award-winning, only a Sony Award-winning idea if nothing else is entered that year in any category.
Yeah, we are first for news, so don't forget.
Well, no, we don't do that anymore.
Oh, we don't?
No.
We're local and vocal, aren't we?
That's us.
Yes.
Hi, pleased to meet you. We got JVS to record some more whistling. This is his whistle from earlier. It's good.
It's not bad. Not
It's
the
not-
echo.
So that's it. Now, you have been... OK, your whistling's pretty poor. You've been wasting licence payers' money by going out and about on the streets of Luton to see if anybody could identify that whistle.
What, being creative, you mean? I was in the studio downstairs when JBS was whistling. Every single one of your phone lines lit up. People love this sort of stuff, don't they?
They were complaining. And one person was actually asking if this was the doctor's surgery. That's a true story.
Fantastic. So we've got the JBS whistle. In the last 20 minutes, this is interaction, very, very hot on the streets here. We've been out trying to find out if people can identify the whistle. And Ian, this is what happened. Can you name the tune?
No.
You can't?
No.
It was a number one back in 1983.
I don't like the 80s music.
OK, it was taken off the album Innocent Man.
No idea.
It was written about Elle Macpherson.
Who's Elle Macpherson?
Desmond.
Yeah.
Desmond, name that tune.
I don't know.
Well, take a wild guess. Think 1980s.
Oh, no, I can't remember.
Come on, madam, take a wild guess.
Downtown Girl?
No, it's not Downtown Girl. Keep going.
Okay.
Think on the flip side.
No.
If it's not down, you're going...
Uptown.
Uptown Girl. It was Uptown Girl. Well done, thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Uptown Girl. Uptown Girl!
Can you sing it for me?
No.
Oh, come on. We've got a crowd here. Come on, have a little sing. Come on.
Uptown Girl! She's been living in an uptown world.
Do you know this person?
Yeah. I picked her up last night.
Yeah. I think you want to drop her off somewhere as well. Thank you.
No problem.
Here we have somebody from Germany off to Luton Airport this morning. Sir, what's your name?
My name is Arno, hi.
Just any ideas on what that tune could be?
I have no clue.
Come on, it was big back in 1983. Come on.
I don't know, honestly. I have no idea.
Uptown Girl, Billy Joel.
Okay, really?
Yeah.
Can I hear it again?
Yeah, you can. Here we go.
Yeah. No, when annoyed.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
Fancy a little sing-along?
Yeah, no, I can't.
Uptown Girl.
No, I'm not singing, no.
I thought the whistling was pretty spot on. Colin is in Luton. Good morning, Colin.
Morning.
Colin, whistling.
I'm not in Luton.
Yes?
I'm not in Luton.
Oh, where are you?
I'm in Dunstable.
Can I say Luton just because it says Luton on my screen and it's easier for me?
No, because it's factually wrong.
Factually wrong, but if we acknowledge it's factually wrong and we just say Luton... You'd be OK with that, wouldn't you?
Not really.
OK,
no.
OK. Let's go to Colin in Luton. Good morning, Colin.
Morning.
Colin, whistling. Did you get what song JVS was whistling?
I did immediately.
Yes. He's got a good old pair of lips on him.
He has, yes.
Yes. Are you a fan of the whistle?
Yes, I am. I'm always whistling, but I'm terribly bad at it.
Well, go on, let's have give us a bit.
No,
Yay!
no.
Hey!
I'm tone deaf.
Come on, give us a whistle.
I don't know.
The theme to Blue Peter.
No, that was Uptown Girl.
What, the same song that Jonathan was whistling?
Yeah.
Blimey! Oh, you were right. You're awful.
Yes.
Is that it?
Yeah.
No,
that's it.
no. Hang on a minute, Colin. You're the. We spoke yesterday, didn't we?
We did.
We did.
We will speak tomorrow.
I have. For those who don't know, I've set Colin some homework. I'm going to start giving the listeners homework, I think. And Colin's homework is to find some ways to make libraries sexier. We want to get younger people in libraries. We want the pink pound in the library, don't we, Colin?
We do.
So have you been thinking about it?
Yes, and I talked to someone that works voluntarily part-time in the library as well.
Oh, to get some ideas on how... Did you say, look, BBC Three Counties Radio have asked me how to make this library sexier. Have you got any ideas?
Sort of, something like that.
OK. Well, we'll speak to you tomorrow morning.
OK.
Justin Dealey has been finding out whether we need to make the local library a more attractive and compelling place to visit. I can't imagine you've ever been to a library, Justin.
Very harsh. I've been to a library probably about the last time I went was about a year ago, actually.
OK, what was going on there? Was a hot girl working there or something?
No hot girls. That was half the problem. That's why I left quite early. It wasn't particularly good.
You've been speaking to people about this, haven't you?
I have indeed, yes. I went to Hemel yesterday and the local library there. I stood outside the library and I've been asking people how they would make their local library sexy. Some fascinating answers. Here's what people had to say, Ian. Right, we've got three young lads here. What's your name?
Stanley Hayden. George Bignight. Reece Bellis.
And how old are you?
I'm 16. I'm 16. I'm 16.
All 16 years old, right. When was the last time you used that library over there?
Oh, God. About 2 years ago, I think. Don't think I have used it. Probably about 9 years.
OK, answer this question. How do we make libraries sexy? What's going to get you into that library?
Oh, I don't know. Because books are boring, aren't they?
Yeah. Right, so you're saying scrap the library full stop?
Yeah.
Right, OK, what about you? How are we going to sex up libraries?
Oh, I don't think you can, mate, if I'm pretty honest. I think, I don't know, get some pole dancers in there or something.
Pole dancers, OK, and finally you?
Well, I just literally think you should maybe give it a whole refurbishment and put more books in it.
Longer opening time because there's someone standing outside there now and it doesn't open till 2 o'clock, so he's going to wait for a long time, isn't he?
So longer opening times, that'd be the first thing?
Yes.
You can make it more intellectual, by all means, but look, you cannot make a library sexy unless you want to go down the route of sexy. And unfortunately, a library doesn't come under that thing.
Yeah, I see your point.
You can't
even make a noise in there, can you?
No, exactly. So how can you make it sexy?
Here's Peter from Poland in Hemel. It's got a ring to it. Peter from Poland. Okay. Peter, very simply, make a library sexy for me. How are we going to sex them up?
Sexy? Well, library for me is very useful, that's it.
That's not sexy, though.
Well, no, maybe not, but I don't come it for a sex. Just only coming for books or internet or something.
How do we get more people in there? How are we going to make it appealing to them? You know, like when you see a beautiful lady, it appeals to you? How are we going to make libraries sexy so people want to open that door and experience?
It is a very strange question, to be honest.
It's a relevant question. Somebody said to me, what about having better-looking librarians? Would that work?
This library is very useful, seriously. A lot of people using this place.
I mean, to be serious for a second, if you were to lose that library, you'd be very upset, would you?
Oh, yes, because they have a lot of books. Internet is available, so, for me it is a very useful place.
So it's sexy enough as it already is?
Yes, I think so. I'm not interested about the ladies inside.
OK, well, there's some differences of opinion there. Thank you for that, Justin, up to your usual high standard. We can speak now to Colin in Dunstable, who's a listener to the show, and we were speaking about libraries earlier in the week, weren't we, Colin?
We certainly were, sir.
You are a big fan of libraries. Yes. How often do you use your local one?
It depends. Sometimes I go in there once a week, sometimes once a month or every couple of months.
They're an important resource, aren't they, to have?
They certainly are, yes.
Why do you think they're so important?
Because of the amount of information that is there on all different subjects.
Books is knowledge, knowledge is power.
Yeah, but it's also community information and things like that.
Well, Colin, I set you some homework a couple of days ago, and you have very bravely taken up the challenge, and you've come back on the air. I asked you, how do we make libraries sexy?
I don't think you can.
Oh. You had 48 hours research, and that's what you've come back with?
No. I mean, at Dunstable, there are all sorts of clubs for all sorts of ages. There's help with the internet. There's help with job searching, all sorts of things. All sorts of little events go on for all sorts of ages. We've got lots of reading help for families. There's a myriad of things going on.
Do you think that's part of the problem, Colin, is that people don't know just what's... Sorry?
Excuse me.
Are you okay?
Yep.
Yeah. You think that people don't know what's available to them in libraries? They think it's just full of old men coughing.
Yeah. I mean, no. Not old men coughing at all. It really is. I mean, while I was in there yesterday, about 4 or 5 o'clock, a couple of middle school children came in asking about facilities.
Oh.
But there's a teenage section with a dedicated teenage area where they've been doing a lot of... there's been a lot of help on some entertainment.
Colin, we had to, speaking of teenage and entertainment, we had a couple of young lads there. One of them suggested get pole dancers in. Now, at first it sounds like a flippant throwaway comment, but maybe libraries at lunchtime could, or they could open a little bit later and have kind of adult-themed entertainment.
I don't think that would be too good.
No, you wouldn't want to see, a pole dancer writhing around the Jackie Collins.
Well, I'm not
through the biographies.
I wouldn't, but I don't think it's going to happen somehow.
Colin, listen, you've been a cracking sport. I really appreciate you putting some thought into this and coming back on the air.
That's it. That's the end of the podcast, and I'm going to end it in true Iain Lee fashion. That's it. That's the end of the podcast. No, wait, he's not Northern. How does he talk again? Let me remind myself.
Brian in High Wycombe has called in about cats.
So, I'm Iain Lee. I sometimes get a bit breathy when I'm talking. That's the end of the podcast. Listen to me during the week. I'm on from 6 until 9 or whatever. That's it, the end. Thanks. Leave a comment on iTunes. Oh, I keep going Northern, I can't help it. Anyway, thanks. Bye.
Thanks for listening to this free download from BBC Three Counties Radio, your local radio station for beds, hearts and bucks, on FM, AM, digital radio, and online at bbc.co.uk/3counties.